Hey there, friend. You subscribed. Thank you so much. I'm really, really chuffed. That's awesome. So the intention is with this channel that if people go through the content, they will become in the top 1% of storytellers, particularly in business, where I think storytelling is a massively, massively underrated skill. Anyway, I did promise that I would talk to you about the story triangle, didn't I? Because although there are so many theories about what makes good stories, whether it's 3-act structures, 5-act structures, the hero's journey, all these different kinds of things. In my experience, the 3 foundational things that really make a difference, that you have to have all these things, are these. You need a character, you need a conflict, you need a consequence. Character, conflict, consequence. So you might think that this stuff is obvious, but a lot of what we see in business storytelling particularly is stories around a company or a corporation or a department or something. And they don't stick. They don't resonate because one of the things we're looking for with stories is to understand our fellow human beings. It's one of the reasons why storytelling is a primal skill, because we're always trying to figure out what other people are doing and thinking and what's going to happen next. So you need a character. You need a conflict. So it's one of the reasons why Facebook posts or social media posts are often a bit sort of meh. It's because on Facebook, we're all having the best time ever, right? Generally, we're all having the best time ever. And that may not be true. In fact, of course, it's not true. And the thing that we're missing out on is that without conflict in our lives, there is no drama. And if you want people to stay interested in what you're saying, we need to have drama in our stories. So, for example, when I talk about my origin story, about how I discovered all this stuff and started to think about it particularly, I go back to 2002, the summer of 2002, when my business was almost bust. Now that was a massive conflict because I had a wife, I had a baby, I had a mortgage, and I had no money. And if you get through to the origin story and the foundation stuff, you'll hear more about that. But conflict is really important for creating drama, right? And then the last C, you've got character, conflict, and then consequence. So I'm not going to tell you what happened because that's a different story, but what science has discovered, particularly what neuroscanning has discovered, is that we are using stories. Humans use stories as kind of a flight simulator for life, if you like. We can go into all these dangerous situations, whether they're physically dangerous or emotionally dangerous or whatever it is, and we can sort of work through those problems without the inherent dangers. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why. I don't know whether you can see, but the book over there where my pen is pointing, that book is a book of fairy stories. It's the book of fairy tales that I had when I was a kid, and they are bloodthirsty. There are kids losing their parents. There are people getting eaten. My favourite story, Jack the Giant Killer, is just a bloodthirsty yomp through Cornwall as this kid basically kills all these stupid giants. And I've known since I was about 6 or 7 how to kill a giant. And that is one of the reasons why we're all so attracted to stories, why they sort of bewitch us, is because we are always our brain is desperately trying to understand the world and to run through all these scenarios. So those are the 3 things you need: character, conflict, consequence. And if you go through to the foundation content, you will start to learn a lot more about that kind of, that sort of basic level, because if you can make your stories, the stories at the heart of your business or your product or your personal brand, if you can turn them into sort of these powerful mythic sort of forms, it will really help you, and it's easier to do than you might think. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you on the other side.